Have you ever looked in the mirror and wondered where your strength has gone? Not just muscle tone, but real strength, the kind that used to carry groceries without a second thought, climb stairs without grabbing the rail, or lift a grandchild into your arms without hesitation. Aging brings many beautiful things: wisdom, perspective, even a little more freedom, but losing strength doesn't have to be part of that package. It sneaks up, doesn't it? One day you feel just a little more tired walking through the store, or you notice your clothes fit differently around your arms and legs. That's not your imagination. It could be sarcopenia, the gradual loss of muscle mass that often starts in your 50s and speeds up as you age. And while it's incredibly common, it's not inevitable. In fact, what you eat can play a massive role in whether your muscles weaken or stay strong and steady. Now, when people think of muscle-building foods, they almost always say the same thing: eggs. And they're not wrong. Eggs have long been hailed as the perfect protein: cheap, versatile, and loaded with amino acids, especially leucine, which is known to stimulate muscle repair and growth. But what if I told you there's another contender, one that most people overlook entirely? Something that might already be in your pantry, or just a short trip away at the grocery store. Seeds. Yes, seeds. Tiny, unassuming, and often sprinkled on top of salads or tossed into smoothies as an afterthought. But these little nutritional powerhouses are starting to make waves in the wellness world, especially for those of us over 50. And the truth is, some of them might even give eggs a run for their money. Let's talk about why this matters. As we get older, our protein needs actually go up, not down. That surprises a lot of people. You might eat less naturally as your appetite changes, but your body actually needs more protein to maintain muscle, repair tissue, and keep your metabolism humming. And if we're not getting enough, we don't just lose muscle, we lose confidence, balance, and independence. So, let's start with the familiar: eggs. One large egg has about 6 grams of high-quality protein. That's good, really good, in fact. Plus, eggs are incredibly bioavailable, which just means your body can easily absorb and use that protein. They're also packed with other nutrients like B12, which helps keep your nerves and brain healthy. For many, an egg or two at breakfast is a simple, effective way to get a boost of strength for the day. But there's one caveat. If you're trying to watch your cholesterol, or if you're just looking to add variety to your diet, relying solely on eggs might not be the best long-term strategy. And this is where seeds start to shine. Let's start with hemp seeds. Just 3 tablespoons pack in about 10 grams of protein. That's more than a single egg. And unlike many plant-based proteins, hemp seeds contain all 9 essential amino acids just like eggs do. But that's not all. They're also loaded with anti-inflammatory omega-3 fatty acids, magnesium to support muscle function, and iron to help oxygen circulate through your body. And for people over 50, that combination can be a game changer. Then there's pumpkin seeds, which come in at about 7 grams of protein per ounce. They've also got zinc, which supports immune health and testosterone levels, important for both men and women as we age. Not to mention, they're easy to sprinkle on just about anything: oatmeal, yogurt, even roasted vegetables. The funny thing is, we've been conditioned to think that meat and eggs are the only real protein sources worth paying attention to. But plant-based proteins have come a long way. And when you look at the whole picture, not just grams of protein, but what comes along with it, seeds start to look like a very smart choice. Because it's not just about muscle, it's also about digestion, inflammation, and how your body responds to what you eat. Seeds, being rich in fiber, also help stabilize blood sugar and reduce that sluggish, bloated feeling that can come after a heavy meal. That means more energy to move, walk, lift, and live. And here's something else no one talks about. When you mix different sources of protein, say, eggs in the morning and a handful of seeds later in the day, you're doing more than just hitting your protein goal. You're giving your body a wider range of nutrients, amino acids, and healthy fats that work together to support muscle repair and growth. So no, this isn't about ditching eggs. It's about adding to your toolkit. Because let's be honest, variety keeps things interesting. And when it comes to staying strong and healthy over 50, a little curiosity can go a long way. The truth is, you don't have to overhaul your diet overnight. Just start paying attention. Notice how your body feels when you add more protein-rich foods, whether from a pan or a plant. And while we're at it, let's not forget about how easy it is to make these changes. Eggs take 5 minutes to scramble, seeds even faster. Just scoop and sprinkle. No cooking, no cleanup. perfect for busy mornings or lazy afternoons. Now that we've looked at what makes eggs so powerful and why seeds are such a rising star, there's still one big question left. Which one is actually better for building muscle after 50? That's where things get really interesting and maybe even a little surprising. So, we've talked about what eggs bring to the table and why seeds are starting to get their well-earned spotlight. But if we're asking which one is better, the truth is, it depends on what your body needs most right now and how you're choosing to fuel it daily. Let's dive a little deeper into what makes muscle grow or shrink as we get older. See, after the age of 50, your body becomes less efficient at synthesizing protein into muscle. That means you can eat the same amount of protein you always did, but your body doesn't use it quite as well. It needs a little more, and it needs it more often. This is where leucine becomes a big deal. Leucine is an essential amino acid. Think of it like the spark plug for muscle growth. It's one of the keys to telling your body, hey, it's time to rebuild that tissue. Let's get strong again. Eggs are naturally high in leucine, which is why they've been praised for decades as muscle food. But guess what? Seeds like hemp and pumpkin offer a respectable dose of leucine too. They might not match eggs gram for gram, but when you look at the full nutritional package including fiber, healthy fats, and minerals, it's clear that seeds have their own kind of power. And let's not ignore something else that matters a lot more than people think: inflammation. Chronic inflammation tends to creep in after 50, whether we notice it or not. It's one of those hidden culprits behind joint pain, fatigue, slower recovery from workouts, and yes, muscle loss. The anti-inflammatory benefits of seeds, especially flax, chia, and hemp, can make a noticeable difference in how your body feels and functions day to day. They're not just helping you build muscle, they're helping your body want to move again. Now, you might be wondering, okay, but can seeds really replace the muscle-building benefits of eggs? That's a fair question. Here's the truth. If you're only looking at protein content and amino acid profile, eggs still come out slightly ahead. But if you're thinking about the big picture, what helps you stay strong, active, energized, and inflammation-free, seeds might just win the long game, especially when you use them together with eggs. Imagine starting your morning with an egg scramble and sprinkling hemp seeds on top of your toast or avocado, or stirring a spoonful of ground flaxseed into your yogurt. You're not just adding nutrients, you're building momentum. Little choices like that, repeated daily, have a compounding effect. And it doesn't take a drastic lifestyle change to start seeing results. A little more strength, a little more energy, a little more confidence in the way your body moves. Another thing that's worth mentioning is satiety, that feeling of being comfortably full without feeling stuffed or sluggish. Seeds do a great job here because they contain fiber and fat along with protein. That combination helps stabilize blood sugar and keep cravings at bay. And when you're fueling your body evenly throughout the day, your muscles have the steady supply of amino acids they need to rebuild and grow. No more protein spike in the morning and crash by dinner. Just balance. You know, it's funny how the smallest things can lead to the biggest changes. A tiny seed that weighs less than a paperclip can influence your strength, your metabolism, even your brain function. And all it takes is being just a little more intentional with how you eat. A lot of us grew up thinking meat and eggs were the only real ways to build muscle, and plant foods were more like sides. But that's simply not the case anymore. Nutritional science has caught up with what many traditional diets have known for generations. Nature already provides what we need, we just have to know where to look. That's not to say you need to give anything up. Eggs are still fantastic. In fact, if your body tolerates them well and your doctor's on board, they can remain a staple in your muscle-building routine. But adding seeds into the mix can fill in the gaps that eggs alone can't touch, especially if you're dealing with joint stiffness, hormonal shifts, or digestion issues that tend to pop up as we get older. And here's something a lot of people forget. The act of building muscle isn't just about lifting weights. It's about recovery. Your body needs fuel to repair, to strengthen, and to protect your bones and joints. That's why quality protein sources, especially those rich in anti-inflammatory nutrients, are so important. When you nourish your muscles consistently, you're not just preventing loss, you're actively gaining resilience. And if you're someone who doesn't love the idea of eating a lot of meat, or you've started to feel that heavy foods weigh you down, seeds are a gentle, digestible alternative. They're easy to sneak into nearly anything, blended into smoothies, sprinkled over roasted veggies, even baked into muffins or energy bites. No cooking skills required. No fancy kitchen gadgets. Just real food that works with your body, not against it. By now, you might be thinking, all right, I get it, both eggs and seeds are good, but how do I make this practical? That's exactly what we're going to explore next. Because the truth is, you don't have to follow a perfect diet to make meaningful changes. You just need to start where you are, with what you already like, and build from there. Let's look at exactly how to create easy meals and snacks that combine the best of both worlds, so you can get stronger, feel better, and live more fully at every age. You don't need a complete kitchen overhaul to eat in a way that supports muscle growth. In fact, sometimes it's the simplest combinations that have the biggest impact. Let's talk about a few easy, practical ways to bring both eggs and seeds into your everyday meals, and why this pairing is one of the smartest strategies for anyone over 50. Think about breakfast. It's often the most rushed, overlooked meal of the day, especially as routines get simpler in midlife. But what if your breakfast could be the secret weapon to keeping your strength? A quick egg scramble with spinach and onions, maybe a bit of cheese if you like, served on a slice of whole grain toast, then sprinkle some hemp or pumpkin seeds right on top. It's a small touch, but it turns an already high-protein meal into a nutrient-dense powerhouse that supports energy, brain function, and muscle repair. Or maybe you prefer a sweeter start to the day, stirring chia seeds into yogurt or blending flaxseed into a smoothie. Not only boosts protein and fiber, but keeps you feeling full longer, which makes you less likely to reach for sugary snacks that offer a burst of energy but leave you crashing an hour later. A bit of protein, a bit of fat, a bit of fiber, that's the formula for steady strength. What about lunch? Something as simple as a boiled egg on a salad can go a long way. Add in a handful of roasted sunflower seeds or a spoonful of tahini as a dressing, and suddenly you've got a meal that checks all the boxes. Protein, healthy fat, and anti-inflammatory benefits, all without spending hours in the kitchen or needing a long grocery list. And don't underestimate snacks. A boiled egg with a few almonds or a small container of pumpkin seeds is portable, filling, and satisfying. It beats the vending machine every time. The goal isn't to chase protein numbers like you're training for a bodybuilding competition. It's to feed your body what it truly needs to stay mobile, energetic, and resilient, not just today, but 10 or 20 years from now. This is especially important if you're already noticing signs of sarcopenia, that slight feeling of weakness, a bit more fatigue, or a slower pace when you get up from the couch. These moments aren't signs of failure. They're simply signals your body saying, hey, I need a little more support. And the beauty of food is that it can deliver that support in the most natural way possible. Let's not forget the emotional side of all this either. Muscle isn't just about strength, it's about freedom. The freedom to travel, to play with your grandkids, to carry groceries, to garden, to dance. It's about quality of life. And the small daily decisions, like adding seeds to your soup or scrambling an egg instead of skipping breakfast. Those are the building blocks of that freedom. Now, you might hear conflicting advice. One expert says eat more eggs, another says cut cholesterol, one trend says go vegan, another says eat high protein from meat. It gets overwhelming. But here's the truth that holds steady. Whole nutrient-dense foods like eggs and seeds are good for you. They've stood the test of time. They nourish your body in ways trendy diets simply can't replicate. You don't have to label yourself or follow extremes. You just need to nourish with intention. And while we're on the topic of what really works, don't underestimate the power of consistency. You don't have to hit your protein goals perfectly every single day, but you do have to show up for yourself. That might mean committing to one high-protein meal a day to start, or it might mean replacing an afternoon cookie with a Greek yogurt topped with seeds. That's not restriction, that's rebuilding. And it's one of the kindest things you can do for your future self. You're not too old to build muscle. You're not too late to feel better. Your body still responds to nutrition and movement. It just needs the right input. And what's beautiful is that you have more control than you think. Every bite you take is a message to your body, a gentle instruction. Keep going. I'm not done yet. As we wrap up, remember, this isn't a competition between eggs and seeds. It's not about one being better than the other. It's about realizing that you have more options than you may have thought. It's about using what works together to create a way of eating that keeps you strong, energized, and independent. So, here's your challenge. If you're ready, tomorrow, just choose one meal, any meal, and find a way to add either an egg, a seed, or both. Observe how you feel after. Do it again the next day, then the next, and before you know it, you'll be rebuilding strength from the inside out. If this video gave you a new way of thinking about your meals, or reminded you that it's never too late to support your strength, I'd love to hear from you. Drop a comment below and share your favorite way to eat eggs or seeds, or let me know which one you're going to try first. And if you found this helpful, go ahead and like this video so we can help more people like you discover these simple changes. Don't forget to subscribe for more senior wellness tips. This channel is here to support your healthiest years yet. Here's to strength, freedom, and feeling good in your body again. You've got this, and I'll be right here, cheering you on every step of the way.